Alright, welcome to this slightly unusual for me video. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how I edit and record my Let's Plays. Now you might be wondering, why on earth am I doing this? Am I insane? Yes is the answer to that, but the reason I'm doing this is purely for informational purposes, really. If you want to see how I edit my Let's Plays, this is perfect for you. For obvious reasons, because you're going to see it. And also, if you're looking for tips on how to edit your own, well, also perfect for you, because you can get tips from it, perhaps. Right, now, I will very quickly start off by explaining my recording process. I use Dxtory here to record. I open Dxtory, I open the game, I hit record. But for now, all I'm going to do, because I've just recorded a bit of footage and I'm going to show you exactly how I edit it. This is Windows Explorer. I do my recording on my R drive, which is on the same physical disk as my F drive, which is where I store my actual recorded videos here, like Sonic 1, Sonic 2, Minecraft, Knit Underground, and Alex Kidd, and all those things. They're all stored here. I've actually got quite a back history of things here. Let's see, where is it? Spelunky. I have quite a lot of those. I've got them going back to the first video, in fact, I think. In fact, no, I don't. I've only got them back to the 6th. Anyway, that's a non-point. That's irrelevant here. Yeah, I record to this partition here into the appropriate, the right things with the right software. I've got Dxtory recording into there, Action into there, Fraps into there, FF Split into there, OBS into there, and so forth. Just some nice organization. Now, this is what I've just recorded. It's a video of Spelunky. Now, the way Dxtory works is it records the game audio into one stream and my mic audio into a separate stream. So I'll just fire this up. Media Player Classic, good software. As you can see here, we've got the game audio playing, but if I press A to switch the audio channels, of not having played it, I just realized this now. But what I'm doing here is I'm recording a sample video for... So yeah, that is a raw recording that I would edit to upload to YouTube. Now, what I would do from here is, in fact, I've got to go and check which number this would be. So I'll head on into here. And the most recent Spelunky video is, it looks like 32, so that would be 33. So I'll head back to my R drive for recording, yeah, see? And I would rename this to Spelunky 33. And then I would right click and use a tool built into the Dxtory installs, and it extracts the audio streams. This here is extracting both the audio streams from the video file itself. SD0 is the game audio and SD1 is my mic audio. Now what I'll do from here is I will open up Adobe Audition, which is what I use to edit my audio. I can resize that over there. I've had to reduce my resolution for recording purposes because my native resolution is 2560 by 1440, and if I, record in that resolution, then even in 1080p on YouTube, everything will be tiny. So I'm recording this at 1080p, raw 1080p, the desktop is at 1080p. Now, I will drag these both of these audio files into Adobe Audition here. Now, the one feature that keeps me from using Audacity, which I do love, but for my Let's Plays, I like keeping my audio very consistent. So, for this, well, consistent in volume at least. So for this, I use Adobe Audition's match volume function. What it does is it takes in these source files and it matches the loudness of them to a certain level, whatever level you specify. Now, this ITUR loudness thing is, I'm not 100% sure what it is, to be perfectly fair, but it's a loudness scale. And I think for advertising, the recommended maximum is, I don't know, but there is a maximum peak that adverts are allowed to use in certain countries and whatnot. So this is what I use to get the volume of my audio files to the right level. Because if I just play this here, raw as is, instead of keeping it a mystery, because that serves no purpose whatsoever, it's loud enough, but it could be a bit louder. I can see the scale on the right here. This is 0 dB. Anything above that is technically clipping. Now that's actually, I think that's actually clipping a bit there. Oh, that's very close to actually clipping there, but that was a loud bit. Oh, whoa, man. Yep, I got it right there, but yeah. Now, the loudness levels I use in LUFS for my voice is -18. So I'm going to run that on that one file there. It's analyzing it. Now it's applying a hard limiter because it's increasing the volume that little bit. Exactly how I edit, record, edit. And now the loudness of the file is on average -18 LUFS, which is good. Now I'm going to remove all those files and then I'm going to drag the game audio into here. And for that I believe it's -23 LUFS, which is quieter than -18. Because 0 LUFS is bloomin' loud. And -23 is obviously lower than -18. So this is the game audio. I'll open that up now. And as I'm sure you can see, that's nice and quiet compared to... In fact, to tell you what I'm going to tell you what I'm doing compared to that there. So what I do from this point is I select both these files and I insert them into a multi-track session. Now ignore that. Template on, and then I call this template Spelunky 33 in this case because this is the 30-second Spelunky video. So I click OK here, and what I end up with here is both of the files in a multi-track session. Now I'm going to zoom in here on the left. Sorry, that's the left, not the right. Now what I like to do here is apply a nice fade in for the game audio. I can mute my vocals. That's not far enough, about there maybe. That's a nice fade in, and then I do a sharp cut fade in there just to cut off any noise I make early on, and it ends up like this. Alright, now welcome to Spelunky, it's fairly nice. Now I'm going to go to the other end and do... Oh, that did not mean to do that. Delete that keyframe. And I do much the same here. Just nice fade out on the outro, basically. So, do itself. Bye for now. And then that fades out nicely, and I've got a nicely trimmed up... Oh, not trimmed up at all, really, but it's a nicely... What's the word I'm actually looking for here? I can't think. But anyway, it's a nice little audio file. The levels are consistent. Just lately, but I will attempt it nonetheless. And this is what I do for all my videos. So the game audio in all my videos and the vocal in all my videos will be the same loudness on average. Though there will be spikes like here, of course. Like that. But on average, the loudness is the same throughout all of my videos where I started using this technique. So now that I've got the volume sorted out, everything's sorted out here, it's all in sync. I might use Audacity. Oh, I mentioned Audacity there. What I do from then is I go to the multi-track menu, mix down session to new file, and entire session. And this mixes both those tracks down into one single file here. Why am I doing this? Well, like that. Now, what I do from here is I save that audio file, I save it into the staging area here, which I should have done before, but I apologize for that. The staging area is what I use for the editing process. I'm saving that mix down into the staging area here. Now, what I should have done previously, and I apologize for getting this out of order, I'm not going to save the changes because I've already saved the mix down and I don't need to save those two audio tracks there. The video is not in Audition, so no need to worry about that. Now, what I do here is I cut out the video file from the Dxtory recording folder, move it into the staging area for editing. That there is an amusing little clip of Simon from the Yogscast saying that, basically. That's why that's there, just so you know. Right, so in the staging area here, I've got Spelunky33, the video file, and Spelunky33 mixdown1.wav. These are both the files I will use for editing this video. So let's fire up Premiere Pro, which is what I use for editing my video. Now, I've got my recent projects. The main one I use is LPs, which I will load up. Now, I've got this set up very nicely, though, just the way I like it. Now, I've got the working area here, which is where I will drag in the video file and the mix down, right into here. Now, what I'd like to do is rename the video file to get rid of the .avi at the end, because it just makes for nicer naming towards the end. Now, I've got the working area here is where I put the things that I'm working on. And I've got the title cards here for all of the thumbnails and such. So I'm going to right click on the video file here and click on new sequence from clip, which will make a new sequence from that video clip. Now, you might be thinking, oh yeah, the audio is going to be in here. Which it kind of is. But Premiere Pro only notices the very first audio stream in a video file. It doesn't look for multiple streams like Vegas does. Sony Vegas does support multiple audio streams and will display them in the timeline down here. But Premiere Pro doesn't. It only goes for the very first one, which invariably in Action and Dxtory is the game audio. So that's no good. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to right click that and click on unlink to unlink the video and the audio. So I can delete the audio. And then I drag the mix down in and just put it right below there. And then I link the two so I can move them around and they will stay together. And now if I play here. Now, this is technically for demonstration purposes, but it is for demonstration purposes, as I said there, yeah. But now I've got the video and the audio synced up. The levels are perfect in this mix down because they're consistent throughout. And then what I do is I look for the title card. So let's see, this is a regular Spelunky run. So I will drag this title card down here. Oh look, we've got my thumbnails. Now, I actually haven't done Spelunky since I changed my thumbnail format, so I will need to edit this. So let me just select everything here and move it over to the left, which I will do using the arrow keys for accuracy. Moving is very slow with this. I apologize. It's not my computer, it's just the software. Alright, that's moved over to the left nicely. Is this all lined up good? Which I can check here. It seems to be slightly far to the left. Alright, that's good. I will center this because that's the new style I'm using now. Which means I need to move it further to the left. The 32 is level with that. Good. Alright, that's good. Now, this is part 33. So I'm obviously going to change this to not 233. I'm not that far into the series. Jeez. Spelunky 33. Now, that says Spelunky Regular Run Part 33. So, now that just appears, obviously. Recording a sample video. This is why I've got the custom effects bin here. So I can zoom in on the timeline here. Drag the slide effect, which is what I use. Oh, I missed. And then I've got this. Recording a sample video for a video I'm going to make after this. Yeah, I'm recording a sample video as I just said there, but yeah. Now, what I do for thumbnails, which is quite interesting. I scroll through the entire video looking for something interesting that I think depicts the theme of the video. And in this case, there's not really too much, so I will go with this embarrassing death here. Now, that looks like there'll be an interesting frame there for zoom all the way in. Let's see. Yeah, that looks like an interesting one there. So what I'll then do is I'll move the title thing over there. I'll move that there. And I'll click onto the video stream here, and I'll go to the effects control. I'll have to resize this along here. I'll go in here, and I'll scale it up. I'll scale it up nicely, and I will zoom in on the part I want to show. Just like this here. Alright, I think that's a pretty neat thumbnail. And then I will do export frame, which will export the current frame. And to save that into F media transcoding thumbnails as splunky33.still001.png. So I click OK there, and then I reset the scaling and position for the video because I don't want it to be zoomed in throughout the entire thing. And then I will find a nice place to put the title card in the video here. That's the wrong place to zoom in, Alan. I'll then zoom in about here, scroll through for a nice place to put it. About here, I think. Seems good. I'm recording a sample video for a video I'm going to make after this. This will make sense once you see that video, which may or may not be before or after. Right, that makes sense to me. That looks quite nice. So after this... Now, with a Splunky series, I don't put custom information in here. Like, I don't put the title of the video there, like I have in the Stanley Parable, which I will actually show you here. See, in the Stanley Parable thumbnail title, I've got Trolls Everywhere, because that was the theme of the video. But in Splunky, I haven't been doing that. If I had been doing that, I would obviously put that in there before I exported the frame and did everything else. Get rid of the Stanley part. But yes, that is in place there now, and the only thing left to do is obviously save the project just in case it crashes, which is possible. I'll export, media, choose H.264 of course, nice codec, and then I will choose my 1280 by 720, 30 FPS, 6 to 10 megabits per second, 1-pass VBR, which I could use 2-pass, but frankly, 6 megabits per second is perfectly fine, I find. It's absolutely perfect for most things, in fact. Even Minecraft, which, hey, it works perfectly fine for me, and if you watch my videos, I think you'll agree the quality is perfectly acceptable. So yes, this is my 1280 by 720 30 FPS preset here. I've got presets for Mega Drive emulators, Knit Underground, Sonic 1, which was before I made the generic preset there. 1080p 30 FPS, Knit Underground preset, which is needed because that's a very peculiar resolution. But for Spelunky, it runs in 1280 by 720, so I'll use that. I can just check if I want. Resize this a bit. I can check that I've got the right settings because it shows the source, resolution, frame rate, and everything else here. Obviously, the source 1280 720, I want that to match on the output 1280 720. 30 FPS, that all matches perfectly. The source audio is 48 kilohertz, and the output audio is going to be 48 kilohertz. The bitrate, I like to keep that at max because it doesn't increase the size much. Now I'm a bit of an audio freak. Yeah, so that is all set up nicely. So the only thing remaining is to head up to my transcoding folder, locate Spelunky. I click on the latest one just to get a nice... Come on, thingy, go away. Spelunky 32. I rename that to 33 there. And then I think of a title, which can take a small while, but this is a test video, which it kind of is. Save. And then I do Q, which queues it in the Adobe Media Encoder, which should load up now. Adobe Media Encoder CS6 there. And then I can save the project and just close it out because I don't need it anymore because it's in here now, ready to encode. And then I click play, and the video is now encoding. And that is basically the be-all and end-all of how I record and edit my Let's Plays. So if you've got any other questions, like how my audio setup is set up, yeah, good English there, me. But yeah, if you want to see my audio setup, then let me know. I'll probably be doing that anyway, but if you've got any other questions, then please feel free to ask them. So thank you very much for watching, and goodbye for now.